Thanks for joining me for this chair pose tutorial. So I'm going to break down chair pose, talk about alignment, talk about where we should squeeze in and engage, and talk about some common misalignments. Okay, so for chair pose, what we typically hear called is big toes to touch, a little bit of space between your heels. Because I have thicker thighs, when I do this, it puts a lot of pressure on the outside of my knees. So if you feel at all unstable or wobbly in chair pose, or if there's any discomfort on your knees, you can widen the stance of your feet to inner hips width distance apart. So when we take chair pose, what we're looking for is weight to be into our heels. So I'm gonna start with hands at heart center. So hips come down and back. It's natural for us to kind of want to tilt forward here. This is a common misalignment. We tilt forward into the balls of our feet. What we want is weight in the heels. So you can tell if that's happening by seeing if you can lift all 10 toes. Also, if you look down at your feet, you should be able to see the tops of your feet. That way your knees aren't too far forward. And your hands can be at heart center here. Another thing to keep in mind is the orientation of your pelvis. So I call something that we commonly want to do in this posture, I call it the Beyonce booty pop. So what it looks like is we're in chair pose, our hands are up here, maybe at heart center, and we like tilt our tailbone all the way up and back. And that can create a little bit of stress and tension in the mid and low back over time. So if you notice that you got a really tilted up tailbone, then dial your tailbone down towards the ground for more length in the low back. Weight in your heels. Another option is a block. It's really hard to get inner thigh engagement in chair pose. I love to use a block in chair pose. So what that typically looks like for me is bringing my feet even a little bit wider than hips width distance, and then bringing a block in between my inner thighs. If your legs are a little bit thinner than mine, you can bring the block all the way up to your pubic bone. For me, that requires me taking a pretty wide stance. And so since I want to take an inner hips width distance stance, I bring the block here. And weight into your heels, lift your toes. Think of rotating your pinky fingers in by using your shoulders to do so. Take a breath in and a breath out. So what we need to think about in chair pose is making sure that the weight is back and down instead of forward and down. So we want back and down weight in our heels, length through the low back, so low belly pulls in. If there's ever discomfort in the shoulders, your hands can come to heart. Or arms to frame your ears, and steady breath. Chair pose. It's a beast of a pose. Utkatasana actually has the word fierce in it. So know that there's always going to be sensation. It's always going to be difficult. And using your breath is a great way to make your way through it. Thanks so much for joining this Utkatasana chair pose tutorial.